This feels like a connection where music has been a huge energetic bridge between you two. The energy that I tapped into for this connection and collective specifically is coming through with music. Now, clairaudience is one of my strongest spiritual gifts, and the three songs that kept coming through were Love Lockdown by Kanye West, Walking on Sunshine, and Roadrunner by the Modern Lovers. And what's interesting about these songs coming through together, not so much together, but in the same day, so I knew that they had something to do with this reading, they tell a very specific emotional story. And I'm getting that some of you as well may notice songs coming on the radio or on your Spotify or wherever you listen to music at the exact moment that you're thinking about this person, or maybe you're not even thinking about them, but certain lyrics will hit a little too close to home, reminding you of that connection, or even feeling like music is answering the questions that you've had about this connection. The energy here feels almost like someone who processes their feelings through music instead of through conversation. The song Roadrunner, it really stood out to me because there's this theme of someone being alone and listening to the radio, almost like music becomes their companion when they're feeling lonely. And that feels very connected to the person in this energy. They might spend a lot of time thinking about this connection when they're by themselves, when they're driving, or when they're listening to songs that remind them of you as well. Now, the interesting part is the emotional realization that comes through the song Walking on Sunshine, because that song carries this feeling, and I had to look up the lyrics because I really thought it was just a song about being happy, but it's actually a song about being in love. It carries this feeling of someone realizing that their feelings were actually mutual, like a moment where they think, wait, so this wasn't one-sided, this connection was real. But the reason that Love Lockdown came through is because even though the feelings are real and that person knows it now, this person still has themselves emotionally blocked off for some reason. It's like they feel everything, but they're not showing everything. And for some of you, I'm getting that this connection may even feel spiritual because instead of direct communication, there may be signs or synchronicities, songs, numbers, dreams, moments where you feel their energy thinking about you, pulling on your energy. But I think here's one of the most important messages that Spirit wants to bring through, and I will be pulling cards in just a bit here. But your guides want you to know that while signs can confirm that a connection is real, signs alone are not a relationship. So if someone can send you energy, synchronicities, and songs, they are also capable of sending you a text. So I feel part of this reading is going to be understanding what this person truly feels, but also understanding the energetic boundaries that you may need to set if this connection is living more in the spiritual realm than in the physical one. So let's look at the energy and see what is really going on here. Okay, so let's see what the energetic connection between you is right now. What is the energetic connection between these two people right now? Okay, so here we have death reversed. For some of you, Scorpio energy could be significant, but doesn't have to be the case. But death in the reversed, it speaks of internal change. So at the moment, both you and this person are clearing and purging out things that are no longer necessary, things that do not contribute to your growth. Both of you are going through this transformation that will ultimately lead to a rebirth of yourselves, where you will both be able to show up in this world as your most authentic selves. And so it makes sense that this connection would be very spiritual, because I would say the majority of spiritual connections come into our lives as a catalyst for growth and change. But I am seeing that this connection is still blocked by obstacles due to one or both people here. I'm feeling like one person is tired of trying to force things, and another person is tired of feeling powerless. One or the both of you could also be facing a lot of opposition in your external reality. I feel more this other person. And also, I feel that love lockdown energy coming through again with the Six of Coins reversed. Because even that song, Kanye says, I'm not loving you the way I wanted to, or like the way that he knows he should be loving the person. Because Six of Coins reversed represents something being or feeling one-sided. In this case, feeling one-sided, because we've already determined at the beginning of the reading that the feelings are mutual, right? But this person has undervalued you, and I do feel that they've woken up to that. And you've also woken up to the fact that you've been undervalued, which is probably why you're not wanting to force anything here or chase this person anymore. But it's interesting because actually through this distance between you two, through this time apart, both of you are perfecting balance within yourselves. And whether that balance will be perfected within the connection itself, well, that depends on free will and what you both want as individuals. Because in these kinds of connections, sometimes people could wake up and they'll think, yeah, I actually do want to try with this person. I want to build with this person. I want to grow with this person. And some people wake up and that no longer feels worth it, especially if there was long periods of time where someone wasn't showing up or investing in the connection. Okay, I want to pull an archetype card here to see the spiritual nature of this connection as of this moment. So I'm definitely getting that one of you tends to be more pessimistic than the other. I'm getting a real energy of opposites here. Like if someone is optimistic, the other is pessimistic. If someone is spiritual, the other doesn't believe in much. If someone believes in energy and action, the other person not so much. If someone believes in growing, the other person is more so focused on staying the same. And there's something coming through about power with both of these cards. We have God, the Prince, and Don Juan. And so there's something here about one or the both of you needing to learn that you're meant to use your charm and your power and your potential in benevolent ways, not using power to control people, not using power for self-aggrandizement, and not using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. I'm also seeing that for some of you, Cancer or Sagittarius energy could be significant, or even Taurus as well in the Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Now, before I move on to look at how this person truly feels, let's go ahead and get your lucky angel number for this day or week. Okay, so we have 888. This number speaks of prosperity and abundance and It could even signify the end of a tough cycle approaching or karmic retribution. It could speak of you closing out a karmic cycle. So if you really want to lock in that energy of prosperity and abundance, you can either comment I am abundant or 888, just so I know that you made it this far. Okay, so let's see. What does this person feel but they don't say? What does this person feel but they don't say? That they look for you everywhere. I feel that this person is always looking for signs of you, whether they consciously realize it or not. They could look for you in other people. They could be reminded of you through conversation, through songs, through movies, through locations. But I feel like this person's higher self knows now that if you were ever chasing them, it was because you were trying to distract yourself from some kind of pain, from feeling something that you didn't want to. And so in this case, it was probably the fear of being forgotten or abandoned by this person. And so that's why when you were in that energy, you felt like you had to do something so that you wouldn't lose this connection. And now that you're probably pouring energy back into yourself, this person can clearly see that that's benefiting you more than when you were chasing them, because you weren't getting anything out of that. I feel like this person has seen you glow up in some way, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And they do wish they had treated you better. There's no denying that. And I do feel like this person replays conversations that they had with you over and over, especially if it was conversations that didn't go well, that caused a falling out here. It's this thought of, why couldn't I just take accountability? Or why couldn't I just say what I was truly feeling? Or why couldn't I have fought for this more? I'm getting that this person feels very regretful of things said and not said. This is someone who, like I said, they're probably way less spiritual than you, or they're more pessimistic. This is someone who hides behind material things. This person places a lot of worth in how they're perceived by others, what they own, what they've accomplished, how much money they have, etc. And you can't make it up. You speak to me through music. I told you that was one of the biggest themes for this collective. And I feel that sometimes the songs will be so specific that they take this person back to that moment in time with you. Now I want to see why this person is in love lockdown. Why is this person in love lockdown? So, okay, for a lot of you, first of all, before I give you any specific answers here, your guides want you to tune in and ask yourself, ask your intuition why. Because there is an energetic thread between you two, you already know the answer that you seek to this question. But let's see if they want to give us a little bit more details. Why is this person in love lockdown? What is blocking this person from showing up? Or why is this connection staying energetic instead of physical? So there's something here regarding integrity and maybe not being on the same page, not sharing the same vision for the future. It could mean that presently your values and morals and this person's values, they are not aligned. And it could be, yeah, exactly, different pages. You and this person do not share the same vision. this person is unable to give you what you deserve. And I think they know this about themselves. Don't assume that this person is clueless, okay? I feel like this person is very intelligent, but at the same time, there's a lot of emotional avoidance in their energy. Or it could be that they've been prioritizing other obligations, so much so that they feel that they have no time for this. And you deserve someone who sees you as a priority as well. Two things can be true at once. In this case, meaning they can prioritize what's important to them in their material world, and they can prioritize an emotional connection. But I think this person doesn't know how. For some of you, I'm also getting that this person could have prioritized their career over you. Let's see what else. Why is this person in love lockdown? Yeah, like I said, this person is intelligent, because here we have the student card, but it's coming out in the reversed. I feel like this person is very intellectual, but they get so lost when it comes to their own emotions. Because this card, when someone is resonating more with the shadow attribute, it means someone is unwilling to translate their knowledge into action. So it could be that this person knows what to do, but lacks the energy or experience in how to execute it. Or they could be presently using that knowledge in a destructive way, which wouldn't be to your benefit anyways. Oh, here we had the teacher come out. The student and the teacher. So it's very interesting. I feel like that's been the dynamic of this connection. At some points, you may have learned something from this person and their actions or inaction, and this person could have learned things through you. But I think you actually had this desire to communicate knowledge or your experience or your skill or wisdom, or there was always something within you that thought, well, if this person is open to it, I will show up for them in this way. But I don't think they were really open to it because y'all were not on the same level consciously. Yeah, very interesting, because here we have the servant coming out in reversed, and I told you there was something to do here with money for some of you, because the servant in the reversed, it speaks of someone using the lack of money or lack of not being where they want to be as an excuse not to move forward with their life, or as an excuse to not pursue their desires, feeling like something isn't worth it if that area of their life isn't perfect. And I feel like you came into this person's life to inspire them creatively, to get out of that place, to celebrate the beauty in themselves even without that. But because they never fully let you in, you didn't get to see the version of them that was embracing that. Why do the signs keep appearing for this collective? So if you're getting signs that this person is still not ready, it's because while they're being guided to awaken more fully, they are still in a very ego-driven energy. This is someone still acting in their own self-interest. This is still someone driven by their need to prove themselves to other people, to society. This is someone who, I don't think they truly know what love or unconditional love is, because this is someone who has a tendency to love what someone gives more than having this willingness to give themselves. I feel like this person is being guided to work on their divine feminine side, regardless of gender, because the universe, God has shown them, like, you haven't been nurturing to this person, you haven't been nurturing to yourself, you haven't been compassionate to this person, you haven't been compassionate to yourself. And that's why they haven't been able to be more soft and more loving towards you, because that doesn't even exist for themselves. And this is due to a lack of inner child healing. I feel like there's potential for this person to grow out of this energy, but it's only through healing, and that's not something that you are meant to wait for. And I also feel like this person just has this deep fear of rejection, not only in a romantic sense, but being rejected by the world, being labeled as too much or inappropriate by others, especially those that they care about or care to impress. And I feel like in the past, this person did make or use excuses in order to control or sabotage this connection. But the only way that this person is going to heal is by mending and acknowledging and forgiving their own past. And I was just asking in my mind, what are the songs or synchronicities trying to communicate? And the card that came out is angel numbers and symbols. So I feel like this is just trying to communicate to you that there still does exist a connection between you, and that this person is still receiving, messages about you as a way to kind of guide them through their healing, and for some of them back to you, trying to guide them in a positive direction, trying to guide the both of you. And here we have 17 and 8. So double 8 energy coming through again. For some of you, August could have been significant. December as well. Something coming through about May. What is some advice for this collective? Boundaries. To maintain boundaries physically or energetically or both if this person is not treating you the way you deserve, or not showing up for you, not making an effort. This means not holding on to potential, respecting yourself, allowing the other person to step up. And here we have the energy of abundance coming through again. So this is just a reminder for you, if you can set boundaries, if you can focus on your healing, your work, your development, your growth, if you can continue to do the work, but also know when to rest and have fun, abundance is going to keep flowing to you from all directions, including love. And just to confirm that money issue, career issues, here we have finances coming through. Financial challenges are affecting this connection and have been affecting this connection. And for some of you, this could be a sign that on your end, that might need to be more of a priority, or that might be something that you are being called to get in order if that part of your life feels a little bit unstable as well. But just know that even if you're feeling a little bit unstable in that area, this abundance card confirms that it won't be for much longer. All right, guys, I think the main message here is allowing yourself to detach with love from this situation so that you can clearly see the truth about this person. And to also remember that while the signs and the songs might confirm the connection, the effort is what will actually confirm the future. So that is what I have for you guys. If you want to go to the extended reading, I have linked it down below. There I'm going to talk about what this person thinks about when you're not around, what they wish they could say, their future actions, if any, and the spiritual purpose of this connection in this moment. And as always, I also offer private readings if you have more questions about your personal situation. That is also linked below. I will see you in the next reading.